I think it's safe to say for a lot of us, this year was pretty boring from Nintendo. I mean, genuinely speaking, when you look back at all the other years, this one was probably one of the weaker lineups, with lots of remakes, remasters, ports even, with a couple of new games sprinkled in at the end of the year. But even with that said, I don't think those new games saved this year at all in any way of having a big release. And we're still waiting on the next big AAA Nintendo title, and Nintendo still hasn't given us anything huge to look forward to in the future. I mean, currently right now, the only games that we know are coming out next year is another remaster of Donkey Kong Country Returns, which is the second time it's returned, which is kind of insane, and Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition, which is a game that already released on the Wii U. We also know Pokemon Legends ZA would be coming out sometime next year, but we still haven't gotten even an ounce of information on that game, and then the only thing left is Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, which once again, we have no clue what Nintendo's plans are with this title and with the upcoming Nintendo Switch 2. Will it be a cross release? Will it still only be on Switch, or will it also be on just Switch 2 only? I don't know. It's hard to say because we don't know anything about this game really. So for a lot of people, the next really big game is Metroid Prime 4, but even with that being the next big anticipated title, it's still a relatively niche title in comparison to something like the next big Mario, Mario Kart, Zelda, you get what I'm saying. And still, Metroid needs time to actually ramp up a player base to the point where it becomes one of those games, and I really hope it does, but let's be honest, it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. We are still waiting on that next huge Nintendo game that everyone is waiting to sink their teeth in. The entire point of me making this video is the fact that I think now's the time. I think now is a perfect time to get ready to reveal whatever this next big game is. Now, a lot of people are putting up new rumors suggesting that Nintendo is going to do something early in January to have an actual March release of the console. I don't think there's a way, a possibility, any way, shape, or form that's going to happen, simply due to the fact that Nintendo needs to market games. There's no way in the world they're going to have another huge Mario game and not market it more than 2 months. Like, are you kidding me? That is why I feel like they need to start marketing whatever this next big game is soon. And I'm sure Nintendo has a whole bunch of big games coming out soon. But today, preferably, I think it's definitely time to hear from at least one of these two games, and that is 3D Mario and Mario Kart. Before we dive into this, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving for those that have been celebrating, and I want to also thank you because I am in huge thanks of how much you guys have been supporting this year. Even with it being a slower year, you guys are absolutely killing it with subscriptions. Over 150 brand new subscribers yesterday alone, so thank you guys so much. Let's see if we can match that again with today's video. I appreciate you guys, but back to the video. I've stated this multiple times already, but Mario has been on an absolute terror the last couple of years of Nintendo Switch. I mean, absolutely just getting every type of Mario game you could imagine. Mario parties, spin-offs like sports games, and tons of RPGs. Like literally every RPG series revived with a remake or a brand new game in that genre. There's just so much Mario on Switch. I mean, we just got a brand new 2D Mario game at the end of last year with Super Mario Bros. Wonder. It is a great time to be a Mario fan, but even with that, still somehow there's two types of Mario games that have been well overdue. And that is 3D Mario and Mario Kart. I've already ran through these numbers enough with you, but I mean, just seriously listen real quick. It's been almost 11 years since Mario Kart 8 originally released on the Wii U, and over 7 years since Mario Kart 8 Deluxe released on the Nintendo Switch. You get what I'm saying here. Over a decade of the same Mario Kart. Yes, it was an absolute amazing, important thing for Nintendo to give us that booster pass because, man, I couldn't imagine playing base Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for this long. So thankfully, we do have tons of tracks. I think 96 in total in that game, which is absolutely insane. But man, I think I speak for all of us when I say it's time to move on, Nintendo. This is something that we just have wanted announced for so long now. And the same thing with 3D Mario. It has now been 7 years since Super Mario Odyssey originally released in 2017. And yes, I know we kind of had that Mario 3D World Bowser's Fury thing going on in 2021, which released in February. So can you believe that literally in a couple of months, it'll be 4 years since Bowser's Fury? Like 4 years? How? How's that happen so fast? Like, what? Yeah, I'm sorry, but it just felt like yesterday when I saw the trailer for this game and finally saw what this extra mode was going to be in Mario 3D World. And yeah, it's already about to come upon its 4th year anniversary. So how are those for numbers? Yeah, it's pretty insane how long we've been waiting for these 2 games in particular. And once again, those are just those games. There's a lot of other games it feels like Nintendo's hitting that circle for again, like the next Luigi's Mansion, Mario Maker, maybe even Splatoon eventually. It's just going to continue to go around that bin where it's time for games again. And I just think it's definitely time for these 2. So much so, I'm expecting trailers of some sort for these games very, very soon. And I think a lot of us have already just mentally expected to not see these Mario games until the Switch 2's official reveal, either presentation or trailer, which we know it's coming before the end of the fiscal year. So I guess we can also predict that we're getting these games before the end of the fiscal year. I think that's just the thing. I don't think there's a whole lot of people out there right now just complaining that there's nothing to play. I mean, there's been so many games to play and so many games that have released. Now, maybe there's some people that have been saving up their money for big Nintendo games and they are still waiting. But personally, as a consumer, I'm content. There's a lot of stuff to play on Nintendo Switch and my backlog is through the roof right now. Like seriously, I feel like the main complaint for me is the fact that there's just nothing to look forward to. And I think for a lot of people, we're just missing that hype at the moment. If we just knew that there were some big Mario games coming around like the summer or even holiday of next year, I think that's enough to just get us through the time period of just waiting, and we could actually speculate all together and look forward to what's to come and just dissect and piece apart the whatever trailer we get. I think that's all people are looking for right now, is just a glimpse of the future, and that's why people want to see Switch 2 so bad, is they really want to see the games. I'm sure a lot of people want to see the specs and what the Switch 2 is actually going to be, but me personally, I am just so hyped to see what in the world this next 3D Mario game is going to look like. What direction are they taking it? What direction are they taking the next Mario Kart game? Literally just getting like a 1 to 2 minute reveal trailer is enough to satisfy me pretty much for the rest of the year. But when do I think we'll see these games for the first time? Unfortunately, not this year. It hurts and pains me, and as much as I want to like predict maybe there's a chance Nintendo could come out and say, hey, there's a big trailer that we're going to reveal to you guys tomorrow, I don't think it's going to happen, because I think it's going to be alongside whatever the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal is going to be, and I do not think the Switch 2 reveal is happening this year whatsoever. I mean, we're already almost in December. It's just too late for that. So I guess my best hope in my mind is that we'll get something revealed in January or February. I don't see them going at the very end of the line, but it is Nintendo. They could say, you know what, we are going to make it on March 31st. That would be so painful. But yeah, I'm thinking January or February. Personally, I'm still in Team February. It just seems like Nintendo's going to wait and push it as far back as they can. But who knows? Maybe there is something, in fact, coming in January, and maybe that's when we'll finally see these games. But if that's the case, and January is the time frame that we'll finally get our eyes on the next 3D Mario and Mario Kart, we are literally now just about a month away, which does sound pretty promising, and you know what? Eventually we are going to run out of time, because Nintendo said still, and even confirming and doubling down on it recently, that by the end of the fiscal year, we will know about the Switch 2 in some capacity. So hopefully that's the case, and we'll actually get reveals of big games as well, including Mario Kart and 3D Mario. But either way, I think it'd be dumb to say to not expect anything soon. Of course, we weren't guaranteed anything this year. We were just going off of some rumors that we've heard, and some people were just straight up waiting for next year anyways. But we know, thanks to Nintendo, we do have a time slot. And within that time slot, Nintendo's got to reveal stuff. Also, when you consider the fact that Nintendo reveals games pretty early. When they reveal major AAA titles like the next 3D Mario, Mario Kart, even Splatoons, Kirby's, Luigi's Mansions, Smash Brothers, I mean, we could go through all of the main Nintendo franchises. It's normally well over 6 months. I'm talking normally like 9 months to a year before the game actually comes out, to give up tons of hype. I mean, Zelda games go far beyond that, and lots of delays impact that, of course, but yeah, sometimes they'll reveal the game years before it even comes out. So I would be pretty shocked if we didn't have a actual release of whatever this 3D Mario game is and Mario Kart game by sometime in the summer of next year and holiday season. So that means we should be getting a reveal relatively soon for Nintendo to start that marketing cycle. But of course, let's just enjoy the end of this year in the month of December and just play the games that we have and speculate what's to come, because I'm sure as soon as we jump into 2025, things ought to get a little crazy. I mean, at least a little bit, right? We're gonna have to wait and see, but let me know in the comments down below what you think. Do you think Nintendo's planning for some big things early next year? Do you think we're about to get the reveal of the next big game coming for Nintendo? Mario Kart, 3D Mario, or maybe even something else entirely? Definitely let me know what you think down below, and make sure you leave a like and subscribe before you head out. And like always, I'll see you all on the next one. See ya, guys.